I mean, I don't. I mean, it seems like the wealth is getting concentrated on the top. Again, to paraphrase, Lenin, this is what the trend
Right.
is, to have a wealth concentrated at the top, and as a result, you have impoverishment of the bottom, masses, right? So like and this is coming to a head now because the extra unemployment payments ran out yesterday, the $600 a week. Maybe they'll get something through the Republican bill of like $200 a week, but people are going to be, uh, evicted, and they're going to be on the
Right.
streets. And like when people get desperate like that, like I don't know. I think that's something's
We have to
will happen.
direct all the tent shanty towns have to be on the same block as a politician. I don't know what else to do. Like, to force the issue and make it real to them. It's just not real to them or something. I just don't understand it.
But the only
I don't
thing,
understand. I don't understand how you can be responsible for the welfare of millions and millions of people and not take it to heart and not do the right thing in these things. I just don't understand it.
well, they'll try to paint this as being some kind of, provocation from, Antifa, or, Russia or something like that, or China or whatever, and then they'll come in with the big guns and just clear it out. I mean, I don't.
Well, what,
I
what do you mean? What do you mean clear it out?
Well, I think what we're seeing, like in Portland, is kind of a preview of what we might see down the line
Oh
with
no,
on
but
a
but if
bigger
there are
scale.
if there are millions of people evicted, how do they clear that out? How is that not on their conscience that that's very likely to happen, right?
I don't know, but the ideology has a way of shaping itself to fit the situation. So,
Yeah,
I tend to think very dark sometimes, because obviously we would like to see some kind of justice, economic justice, where things are, people have the right to life, first of all, which isn't even guaranteed nowadays, really. The right to life, and um, the right to basic, food and shelter, basic needs, right? And you don't
right.
have that. So what is the, um, what's going to happen if you don't have, things are going to go downhill pretty fast. But I think, yeah, potentially they could just say, we're going to, it's your problem if you're homeless and you don't have enough food to eat. It's your problem. We can't take care of you because you obviously have failed in the capitalist marketplace. So like, it's not our job to give you a handout, because ultimately, it's not just printing money. Ultimately, it's going to be taking wealth from the top and redistributing it to solve that problem. And I don't see that happening without a
Yeah,
real struggle.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, my basic point is, I mean, I don't see how. I just don't see how politicians live with themselves with seeing this happening on their watch. Why there aren't at least some politicians, chaining themselves to the doors of Congress and saying, no, you're not going home on vacation until this is solved.
Right.
It's crazy to me that there's nobody, that is really raising the alarm bells the way it deserves to be
I mean, I think what we,
done.
we need to see is, like, a million people descending on Congress, like
Yeah,
demanding single payer healthcare, and just saying we want it now. And
right,
kind of like, how is the state going to react to that? But I
right.
think you're right. If you have the power of numbers is what we have on our side, right? So if you
Mm,
have a million people showing up because they have nothing else to do, they have nothing to lose, right?
right.
They're going to show up at Congress and say we need to have this. Then I think, um, you know, there'll be some kind of reckoning, and maybe something will happen as a result of that. One can only hope.
Yeah. Yeah, Moving for a People's Party kind of essentially tried to do that over the 2 weekends that they tried to physically go to Congress persons' houses and basically, make it real to them. No, we're serious. We're talking to you. We want you to understand that we have these demands um, for a bailout for regular people. Um, Yeah, and I don't know. I guess I just don't understand. I don't know if it's something like the United States has actually acted as such an empire for so long. I mean, they've gotten used to signing off on, you know, uh, policies for war and sanctions that kill so many people around the world that they're just used to any kind of human suffering, and it doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't ring home to them. I
Well,
just don't
Jim,
get it.
it's to protect our way of life. You know that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but I mean, when people lose that, when they can no longer buy their big screen TV because they've been evicted, then it doesn't matter anymore. I mean, people have quote unquote benefited from that for years, right? Of having cheap consumer goods, having benefiting from that system, cheap oil,
right,
benefiting from that system of exploitation. But at some point, it's the chickens are coming home to roost, right? So,
right,
um,
yeah,
at some point, uh, if you're no longer enjoying the benefits of that, and it's only this top elite that is enjoying the benefits, um, then then the time comes where people are going to say, okay, things need to change. Um,
yeah. Well, that's real. I mean, and if you can feel it, you can feel it. It basically feels like anything could happen going forward from here with the various protests, and the threats by Trump to cancel elections, and who knows what actions by Democrats to push forward a man in final stages of dementia or early stages of dementia, I guess, in order to get a puppet in place or something. Or I just
right.
don't know what's going on, right?